Hey Gemini, welcome to your July 5th through 11th weekly forecast. We have a new moon in Cancer coming up on the 9th. So we're going to check in here. We're going to see what the new moon may be bringing you guys as well. And just basically see what the energies are bringing in for the Gemini collective. Okay? Gemini, sun, moon, and rising. Now, those of you that you watch my videos, you know that in the weekly forecasts, I try to focus on everything except for love. I like to make the weekly forecast about you guys, your journey, your energy. However, this new moon in Cancer is going to be bringing up a lot around our relationships and interactions with other people. So we may get messages here involving other people, or feelings coming up to the surface about certain situations. It doesn't have to be romantic. It could be family, friends, coworkers, business associates. It could be our relationship with ourself. So we're just gonna be open here to whatever comes in this week, okay? Because we do have this influencing energy. The first card coming in for Geminis is the Empress, okay? Beautiful, beautiful energy. This is a major arcana card. When the major arcana cards come up, we're coming into a new chapter in our life. We're coming into a new phase, into a new cycle. So typically, when the major arcana cards come up, even when we're doing a daily read or a weekly forecast, this is energy that's going to be around for a while. Okay, we're not just talking about a day or two or a week or two. This is a new chapter of life. This is a new phase. It's a moment of growth. Okay, the Empress is beautiful, powerful, creative, successful, abundant, fertile energy. Some of you may be kind of tapping in with your more nurturing side, your more feminine side, your gentler side, your nurturing side. Some of you could be having some things coming up with your mother, okay, because we do have the new moon in Cancer. So there could be here things having to do with your mom, or issues or things that you need to figure out. But what's funny is Spirit is giving me a visual of an ironing board and somebody ironing. So I feel like this is going to be more so like smoothing things over, right? Like ironing out the wrinkles, so to speak, because I'm seeing ironing and I'm seeing something being smoothed out. So there could be differences or disagreements that you're deciding that you want to handle, or you want to kind of resolve peacefully or calmly. Those of you who have a mother or mother figure who has passed on, sometimes the Empress can be representative of a maternal figure, a mother or grandmother that's like visiting us or trying to bring us messages in our dreams. Some of you might be experiencing this. Empress card also for me is coming into the energy of like successful self-employment. You know, it can also traditionally be fertility. Maybe some of you are really deciding that over this new moon period you're going to manifest children, having children, conceiving children. This can be on your mind for some of you as well, or finding out that you're going to be a parent, okay? Whether it's for the first time or surprise, there's another one coming. You know, whatever your situation might be, there could be something here in terms of children for some of you. Empress is also the embodiment of all of the queens in one. So there's a sense here of you tapping into your different gifts, your different abilities, your different talents that maybe you didn't know that you possessed. And also just being in this energy of wholeness, completeness, being able to embrace and accept yourself in all of your entirety, and see the benefits of these different sides of you, and not feel like you have to be this cardboard cutout of a person, or some kind of cookie cutter situation, but that you can have this depth and this range. The next card coming up for you guys, Gemini, is the Five of Cups. Five of Cups can be disappointment, sadness. It can be feeling that things did not go the way that we had hoped. However, I'm going to tell you the vibe that I'm getting from this card for you guys, Gemini. Okay, now even though we're coming into a new moon, and new moons are traditionally seen as a time of manifesting and calling in new energy, and full moons are usually seen as a time of release, like things coming to the surface and releasing. Because this new moon is in Cancer and it's in the realm of relationships and emotion and family, and we have all these other really intense planetary placements right now, and we've had very intense placements building up till now, and they will continue to do so through the remainder of the year. We're going through a mass collective awakening. We're going through a mass spiritual evolution. Okay, we're coming into a new renaissance, right? Like people came out of the dark ages centuries ago. We're going to look back at this time in the future and be like, oh, that was the modern renaissance. That was like the other dark ages that mankind came out of. So as a collective, we're evolving and advancing. And this new moon is going to feel like a full moon to some people, to a lot of people, where things are coming to the surface. 5 of Cups is telling us, Gemini, that you need to be cautious this week, because some of you are going to be super duper tempted to numb it, to push it down, to not feel it. There's a self-medicating energy with 5 of Cups, right? So some of you maybe are going to try to push these feelings down and keep busy with maybe being a workaholic, like throwing yourself into your work. Some of you might be smoking that lettuce. Some of you might be turning your attention towards shopping or food or alcohol or whatever, gambling. It could be anything. Physical intimacy, right? I'm not allowed to say the 3-letter word that starts with the letter S, otherwise YouTube wants to come after me, but you know what I mean and you know what I'm saying, right? We can self-medicate in so many different ways. It's not always about picking up a bottle or or engaging in intaking some kind of a substance. We can self-medicate in so many different ways. And so 5 of Cups is saying, look, you might have really intense emotions coming up, but this is a part of your healing. This is a part of your clearing. This is a part of you evolving into higher frequency, higher energy, and opening up to receive. So resist the temptation, okay? A lot of you also might be breaking out of a family cycle or family pattern of addiction or codependency. Maybe some of you are looking back at your life and you're realizing that, hey, you know what? I've really had a habit of ending up with people who aren't emotionally available, or where there's been a lot of codependent tendencies and traits, and a lot of you are breaking out of that. And for some of you, it's coming down to smoothing things over with your mother, or just being very nurturing and healing to your inner child. The next card that's coming up for you guys is the 9 of Cups, okay? And 9 of Cups is very happy, right? Very positive card. This is going to traditionally have the message of wishes coming true. The things you were hoping for, the things that you're longing for, they're happening, they're coming in. This wish is going to be cosmically granted, okay? Now, keep in mind that because we are in the energy of this new moon and people's vulnerabilities and insecurities are coming to the surface, you might have people that might kind of have their jealousy or bitterness or resentment coming to the surface, and they might not be super happy for you as these positive things are coming in. And the way they might express it, because they feel insecure, they feel like you're going off and you're living this great old merry old life and you don't even care about them, or you're all successful and they're not. They might have a little bit of bitterness, and the way that they may express this to you is by making you feel as though you're being self-centered. Oh, like Gemini, look at you. You have a little bit of success coming in, and now you think you're too good. You forgot all this little people. You forgot where you came from. You sold out. You this, you that. They might be making you feel like you have so much and you're being greedy. and you need to give to them and you need to help them. Some of you could have a maternal figure or somebody from the mother's side of the family coming in like, Gemini, pay up, give. You're successful. You have all this stuff. You got to help us. You got to give us. And so there could be issues around this. Sometimes comes up with the Nine of Cups. So Nine of Cups can come up with the message of, look, your wish is coming true. Success is coming in. But what you need to work on right now to ensure this success is to work on your boundaries and not feeling guilty for having it. Knowing that you deserve it. You've worked hard for it, you know. Sure, you might have had people that were supportive along the way, but at the end of the day, you're the one that did the work. You're the one that got yourself to where you are. So you don't have to feel indebted for the rest of your life. You know, otherwise it's this debt that you're never going to be able to pay because you're constantly being made to feel like you owe more. You need to give more. You need to do more. So there needs to be like this healthy sense of entitlement within you, Gemini, that, you know what, I worked for this. This is mine. I deserve it. I have a right to enjoy it. Okay? So a sense of deservingness and being able to have boundaries, right? I've given this example in previous readings. Nine of Cups comes up sometimes when it's like you're sitting at the banquet table. You're ready for the blessing. You feel it. You know it's coming in. You keep hearing it's going to come in. And you're like, when is it coming? When is the blessing coming? When is the harvest banquet going to be laid out at the table? And all your friends and all your family are at both sides of you on like this long like table, right? Spirit knows the second that these blessings come in, there's people in your circle right now. There's people in your life right now. They're going to come in like locusts and they're going to devour everything. So even though you might be a generous person and even though you're willing to share the abundance, there are people around you that if they have their way, they're going to get every little last crumb and there's going to be nothing left for you. And Spirit knows how hard you've worked and doesn't want that to happen for you. So sometimes they don't bring everything out to the table until you've been able to have those boundaries to where you can say, okay, look, I can share, but you know, you're going to get a chicken leg. You're going to get some salad. You're going to get this. You're going to get that, where you're in control of what's being given, if anything at all. And you're not in a situation where people are taking and leaving you with nothing, right? So there's this sense of boundaries. This is a good time to make sure that you are keeping up with those boundaries. The next card coming in for you guys, Gemini, is the Eight of Swords, right? So one of the things that you guys are going to be experiencing in this new moon energy is the feeling and sense of vulnerability, right? Like you're feeling like, oh, but I'm stuck. Oh, I want to do this, but I can't. And I feel the reason why is because coming at this Nine of Cups, there are people making you feel like you're being selfish or you're being greedy. I feel, Gemini, some of you have somebody or maybe more than one person that really they are telling you you've changed. Like you've changed, you're getting a big head, you think you're too good for everybody, or you're starting to get conceited, or you're starting to think too much of yourself. But really, I feel this is more coming from their insecurity. Like they see you coming up, they see you rising up, and they may love you a lot, and they may have this fear of losing you, whether it be a friend, a family member, a significant other. And so their way of trying to hold on to you or make sure that you're not going to forget about them is they're knocking you down a few pegs here. They're like, making you feel like, don't get too high and mighty now. Don't feel too good about yourself. Like they're acting as though they're coming in and keeping you humble. But really what it is, Gemini, like Spirit is giving me a sense or a feeling like you are developing a really healthy self-esteem, right? And you have people around you that are making you feel like you need to be more humble. You need to be more humble. You shouldn't be so arrogant. You can have a healthy self-esteem and still be a humble person. Because Gemini, I don't feel like you're walking around like, oh, look at me, I'm better than everybody else. I don't get that vibe from the collective Gemini energy. I don't get a vibe of like, I'm better than everybody else and everybody else is trash. Like, I don't get that arrogance. I don't feel arrogance in the collective energy. Okay? And so I feel like the thing that you need to focus on right now, Gemini, is boundaries and learning that you can have a self-esteem and be confident and give yourself credit where credit is due, and say no to people when it's the right thing to say no to people, and not, lose humility. You can still be a very humble person. So don't confuse humility with lack of self-respect. Don't confuse humility with lack of self-esteem, because they're completely different things. And there could be someone around you that, like, they don't necessarily mean for you to be unhappy or to feel like crap, but they're so afraid of losing you that as you're, working your issues out, as you're coming up, as you're coming into your successes, they're coming in as though they're keeping you humble, but really it might be causing some damage here. And if that's the case, Gemini, I would encourage for you to let this person know how you feel. It might not go so well. I will give a little bit of a warning there. One of the things I've told the other signs so far is right before I sat down to do the readings for the weekly forecast, I had a great big giant flying ant with a stinger come and land right by me. Freaked me out. I've never seen anything like that in my life before. I'm not used to seeing, flying ants, let alone giant ones with stingers. I didn't know ants could have stingers. And I had to avert that crisis. I had to keep from getting stung. Then I went into another part of the house to get water. I'm like, let me get some water before I'm talking for a bunch of hours. And I smelled fire, the smell of fire coming in from outside. And so the message I got from that is, as we're coming into this week's energy and the new moon in Cancer, there's a lot of things that are going to be appearing out of nowhere. And some of us might be confronted by someone where there's the potential of being stung. And there's the potential of burning bridges. That's what I got from the smell of fire. There's a potential of burning bridges. It doesn't have to be that extreme. Some of you are like, bring it on. I welcome it. I'm happy to burn those bridges. And if that's the case, you're going to love this energy coming in. You're going to have a grand old time. Other ones of you, this is an opportunity to work through the issues, to talk about things, but to keep a level-headed. You don't have to cut people off, right? And I know a lot of you have been watching my videos for a while, and a lot of times there's messages about, oh, it's time to, clean house. It's time to cut out the toxic people. I think a lot of you have been doing that for a while now. And in this case, in this instance, you have an opportunity, like the old expression goes, to not throw the baby out with the bathwater, right? You don't have to get rid of everything. You can keep the good and, clean what needs to be cleansed. Dump out what needs to be dumped out, but you don't have to throw away the entire relationship, okay? And that's the thing about relationships, right? They challenge us to grow. They challenge us to communicate, to understand each other. So a lot of us are being challenged right now to work through issues and to realize other people's vulnerability, that they feel vulnerable, they feel lonely, they feel scared, they feel insecure, they feel hurt or resentment. And we didn't even realize that they felt that way about us or something involving us. So this is a chance for communication and calling in harmony and learning to work together. But in that process, Gemini, is an opportunity for you to stand up for yourself, okay? And to give yourself permission to receive and have fun and be happy, okay? You may want to check out your moon sign and rising sign videos. Some weeks those may resonate for you more than your sun sign, or they can add a little bit extra information. I will have the love readings linked in the description of this video for those of you that want more of a love and romance reading. And if you would like a private reading with me, please be careful, guys. There's somebody out there pretending to be me. They're going around emailing people saying that, you know, oh, I need to tell you something, you know, here, you know, I'm going to get you in for a reading. Go ahead and you know, book with me. And I know sometimes my calendar gets booked out in advance and people don't want to wait that long. So you get an email like that and you're like, oh my gosh, like, here's my chance to get in. But it's not me. I don't do that. I don't email people offering them readings. I don't have like a client email list. I don't send out offers or announcements through email. I don't do that, you know. Hopefully maybe one day in the future I can get organized enough to set up something like that, but I don't have that right now. The only way to get a private reading from me is to go to calendly.com/amethystangelite and schedule a private reading with me. Okay, only way to get a private reading with me. So if you get those emails or there's somebody in the comments pretending that they're me, it's not me. It's not me. Calendly.com/amethystangelite is how you can get a private reading with me. I thank you all for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing. Bye, Gemini. Take care, my dears.